My name is Michael Steiner. I'm the head of Energy of Intra Corporation, which is an ASX-listed company in Australia. And we are a coal mining and energy company active mainly in the African continent, but with exploration opportunities in coal mining here in Southeast Asia as well. I think there's a lot of challenges which will be faced by Asia over the next 20 years to come. I think there's a lot of challenges which also brings a lot of opportunities though as well. And I'd like to summarize this in what I call the energy trilemma. Basically, three factors that have to be satisfied in developing the Asian power sector going forward. Number one is security of supply, which is important for any economy to grow. Secondly is the affordability of power. And thirdly, it is the sustainability of how you produce power. And not all of those aspects are always in synchronous theme with each other. So there will be a lot of debate on basically fulfilling an optimum between those three criteria for the Asian power investments and sector going forward over the next 20 years. I think there's so many. If you just read up on EIA's special outlook for Asia over the next 20 years, which is a report that was published end of last year, there will be about $1.7 trillion being used to invest in the energy sector, and alone 60% of that investment volume will have to come into power generation and power distribution infrastructure. The opportunities are vast, and I think there is various choices to invest. I think classical thermal energy will still play a very prominent role. There is abundant resources in a lot of Southeast Asian countries when it comes to natural gas, when it comes to coal. But obviously renewable investments will pick up the pace going forward, and they will play a much more prominent role for the next 2 decades in investment going forward. I believe there's all the countries in the region that will see heavy investment going forward, but it will depend on which country in particular, what choices are made in those particular countries, which are driven by policy frameworks, by regulatory frameworks. If people will decide which way to go to invest more into thermal energy or more in renewables, and how this energy mix will look like. I think it's a great event. I think it's a perfect opportunity for everyone who is in this sector, in the power sector, to catch up with the peers who are in the same industry. I think it gives you a great platform to network and get to know the opinions of all the various parts of the sector we are working in. And last but not least, obviously a great networking event. And I'll be looking forward to hopefully come again next year.